This lecture is for number 1, MSc and BS 4 years, as well as for MS MMP course, because the article which I am going to start is included in the syllabus of both the classes, and that is 4-year series. That is 4-year series. ये आपके दोनों क्लासों में है. एक याद रखना कि इसका इसी को आप सैद आलम साहब को भी दे दें और इसी को आमिर साहब को भी दे दें. ये एमएस वालों को भी यही जाएगा और एमएससी वालों को. सिर्फ ये और इसी ये जो टॉपिक है इसमें 1 या 2 और लेक्चर हुए वो जाएंगे, इसके अलावा और नहीं है कॉमन. अच्छा, यही सिर्फ कॉमन है. ओके, as far as this mathematical method course for MS is concerned, we have gone through the calculus of variation. However, for MSc and BSc, we have done the Fourier transforms and Laplace transform. Okay, then this Fourier series, this business is common between, and therefore we'll be talking about that. Now look, I am going to write this series, Fourier series, was developed by J.B. Fourier. He was French mathematician, J.B. Fourier. And this is used to explain the wave phenomenon. This is used to explain the wave phenomenon. Now, sometime what happens, कि a function, given function fx is not continuous at some point. At some points, not continuous at some points. So you cannot differentiate it. At the same time, it is periodic. So we cannot solve it by differentiation method. Rather, we use a method which is known as a Fourier series method. Now, I am going to write an expression here. Fx is equal to, this is a given function, is equal to some constant which should be a naught, but for certain reason I am going to write it as a by 2. It should be just one constant, but I am writing a naught by 2 plus summation n is equal to 1 to infinity a sub n cosine of nx plus b sub n sine of nx. Just look at this expression, okay? I am not going to say anything yet about this, except that this is some function which has been expressed as a constant term plus cosine terms and sine terms. If you open it, then it will be a series plus n1, it will be a1 cosine x plus b1 sine x plus a2 cosine 2x plus b2 sine 2x and plus so on so forth. So you see there are some cosine terms and there are some sine terms. And what is cosine of certain function? This is a trigonometric expression. This sine is also a trigonometric function. This is some constant term, doesn't matter. So this is a trigonometric series. This is a trigonometric series because it contains, trigonometric expression. Now what I am going to do, I am going to impose certain condition on fx. Now these condition is, number one, fx is periodic. Number two, fx has finite number of finite number of discontinuities. And it has, fx has finite number of maxima and minima. Fx has finite number of finite maxima and minima. Okay, finite maxima and minima. First, let me explain what are these. Your given function is periodic. Periodic means it should repeat itself after a regular interval of time. Look, this is x, this is fx. And look at this. This is one cycle. This is other cycle, which is repetition of that, and so on and so forth. Or you have they are repeated after regular interval. Such function which repeat themselves after regular interval, they are known as periodic. They are known as periodic. So these are the periodic function. So if this function is periodic, it has discontinuity from here. You don't know whether at this point it has this value or this value, this value or this value, this value or this value, and these are finite number of discontinuity. So it has finite number of discontinuity. Same is true here. Okay, at this point, does function belong to this side or this side? We don't know. So take the average. So it is discontinuous like that. Okay, so it means that it has, but the number of discontinuity should be finite. Infinite nahi hone chahiye. Number two, fx has finite number of finite maxima and minima. This is maxima, this is minima. This is maxima, this is minima. Is this infinite? No. It is finite, this much, this much, this much. So the magnitude of maxima is finite. At the same time, it should be having finite number of maximum point and finite number of minimum point. Now here, the maximum points are this. They are 4. Minimum points are that 1, 2, 4. So it also has finite number of maxima and minima, and magnitude is also that. Now these things together what is these three things together? They are known as Dirichlet condition. They are known as Dirichlet condition. Fx periodic, Fx has finite number of discontinuity, Fx has finite number of finite maxima and minima, then this is known as Dirichlet condition. Now, this is a trigonometric series. If your function is written in this form and it satisfies Dirichlet condition, then this is Fourier series of Fx. But if Fx is written in this form but does not satisfy the Dirichlet condition, then it is not Fourier series, it is just a trigonometric series. Okay? For trigonometric series, it has to obey Dirichlet conditions. Okay? So if Fx obeys these three conditions, then this becomes Fourier series, otherwise no. Its applications are in the wave phenomena, periodic waves, and etc., and in electricity, magnetism, and Gibbs phenomena, etc. Now, if somebody asks you, a function is given to you and it satisfies Dirichlet condition, find its Fourier series. Now look at this. Now it is given that function is obeying Dirichlet condition, और वो आपको कहता है कि ये फंक्शन है, इसका फोरियर सीरीज मालूम करें. Fx is given, maybe it is x square, maybe वो कहते हैं ये पीरियोडिक भी है, फाइनाइट नंबर ऑफ डिसकंटिन्यूटी है, मैक्सिमम मिनिमम फाइनाइट है, कहता है कि इसका फोरियर सीरीज मालूम करें. देखें ये तो टर्म्स नोन है कि व्हेन n वेरीज ये 1 हो जाएगा, ये 1 हो जाएगा, 2 हो जाएगा, 2 हो जाएगा. The only unknown in this equation 1 is a naught. In this expression, in equation 1, a naught, a n and bn, they are constant to be evaluated. To be evaluated. You have to find these. मतलब है आपको कोई फंक्शन दिया हुआ है तो पहले आपने देखना है, लिखा है कि ये पीरियोडिक है और ग्राफ बनाएंगे. In every this problem you have to plot the graph and then you decide कि ये Dirichlet condition को satisfy कर रहा है कि नहीं कर रहा. If it does, then you have to find a naught, a n and bn. Now let me tell you one thing. This expression could be written as fx is equal to summation n is equal to 0 to infinity a n cosine nx plus bn sine nx, right? लेकिन what is cosine 0? Cosine 0 is 1. So when n is 0, cosine 0 is 1 and sine 0 is 0. And therefore fx becomes A naught and just nothing. So here for n is equal to 0, we have taken that A naught out. And I told you in the beginning, take it as a constant. ये 2 का factor है. I'll explain it. Okay, in a later stage कि why this factor of 2, इसको तो A naught होना चाहिए. देखे मैंने आपको बता दिया. बाकी सीरीज जो रह जाएगा आप कहेंगे it is A naught plus summation n is equal to 1 to infinity और बाकी ये चीज़ आ जाएगी. लेकिन मैंने नहीं लिखा, मैंने डिवाइड बाई 2 भी कर दिया. So you might be thinking कि perhaps I am just making mistake or I am just कोई गफला कर रहा हूँ. नहीं, ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है. That will become clear very soon. Don't worry about that. But put question mark कि ये कहाँ से आ गया. Okay? From where I got that. चलिए. अब एक बात तो something is clear to us कि भाई in order to find what is Fourier series, it is trigonometric series of this type provided fx satisfies Dirichlet condition. या तीनों को लिखें या सिर्फ Dirichlet condition लिखें, it is the same thing. Okay, for all the 3 you write one thing कि ये Dirichlet condition है. और इस इक्वेशन में ये इक्वेशन 1 जो है, इक्वेशन 1 ये इसमें हमने मालूम क्या करना है, A naught, A and B. I am going to write how to find A naught. A naught is given by 1 over pi minus pi to plus pi fx dx. An is given by 1 over pi minus pi to plus pi fx cosine nx dx. Bn is equal to 1 over pi minus pi to plus pi fx sine nx dx. ये जो हैं, these are the value of the coefficients which can be calculated by making use of that. Very simple, very simple. However, I'll show you how to derive them. Okay, but before that, I am going to consider, okay, leaving this discussion here incomplete, we are going to talk about orthogonality of sine and cosines. Orthogonality of sine and cosine. Consider a set of function. कैसे हैं जी? Sin n pi x over c and n is equal to 1, 2, 3, etc. Cosine of n pi x over c and n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. In the interval minus c right, this what I want to discuss. Before that, This is Fourier series this is chapter 7 in your advanced mathematics. Look, when we say a function is periodic, तो हम कहते हैं कि fx is periodic. Fx is, let's say, x. It is periodic. Periodic का मतलब है कि it is repeating itself. But what is its period? Period is 2 pi. This is just an example. Period is 2 pi. Let's see how we can find its graph. Fx. This is 0. This is pi, and that is 2 pi. When it is, period is 2 pi. When x is 0, what is fx? 0. When x is pi, what is fx? Also pi. When x is 2 pi, it is 2 pi. So your graph is that one. इसका शेप ये है. अब उसने कहा इट इज पीरियाडिक, मतलब है कि 2 पाई से 4 पाई तक ये अपने आप को रिपीट करेगा. अब आपने इस इक्वेशन को नहीं देखना बस. So this is a periodic function. This is periodic function. How much is the period? 2 pi. Period is 2 pi. Similarly, fx is equal to sin x. और आपको कहते हैं पीरियाडिक, पीरियड इज 2 पाई. तो आप प्लॉट करते हैं x, fx, तो ये आपका से आएगा 0 पाई 2 पाई. तो आप देखें इट इज sin 0 is 0, sin pi by 2 is 1, sin pi is 0, sin 3 pi by 2 is -1, and sin 2 pi is 0. So this is one cycle. Second cycle will be again from there to 4 pi. This is 3 pi, etc. So it is repeating itself. So periodic function. So period is 2 pi. Now I have considered a set of the function sin n x. देखिए sin n x means कि sin pi x over c, sin 2 pi x over c, sin 3 pi x over c, etc. etc. This is a series. और ये देखिए cosine, that is, it is 0, it is 1. And then, because 0 is not included here because sin 0 is 0, there is no need to write it there. But it is, when 0 it is 1, and when it is 1, then it is cosine pi x over c, cosine 2 pi x over c, cosine 3 pi x over c, etc. And period is 2c. Period is minus c to plus c means 2c. Minus c से 0 तक and 0 to c तक. Period is 2c. Okay, now take it as an assignment. It is problem number 7.1 and see how I do it. It is a solved problem. Okay, let me take a unsolved problem. I shouldn't take this. This is unsolved problem 7.25. 7.25. ये मैंने अभी इनकम्प्लीट छोड़ दिया. अच्छा, 7.25 पेज, ये भी इनकम्प्लीट है, ये भी इनकम्प्लीट है, because we will come to conclusion, don't worry about that. थोड़ी सी आपकी प्रैक्टिस के लिए कि आपको घर में ये समझ आ जाए. ये 2.5 है, पेज इज 198 और ये सॉल्व नहीं है. कहते हैं ग्राफ ईच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग फंक्शन और 4 पोर्शन दिए हुए हैं. ए इज एफ एक्स इज इक्वल टू 8 between 0 and 2, -8 between 2 and 4, period is 4. Period is 4. One small thing which I would like to bring it in your notice, कि sometime there is equality sign. Now there is a difference between and sometimes there is one equality and other is no equality. I am going to explain it, okay? Now plot this x fx. अब देखना क्या है जी, 0 से 2 तक पहले और फिर 2 से 4 तक. 0 से 2 और 2 से 4. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. He is saying कि when you go from 0 to 2, the value of the function is 8. From here to there it is 8. From 2 to 4 it is -8. Okay? From 2 to 4 it is -8. Now, there is no equality here, there is no equality here. It means graph starts slightly after 0, it ends slightly before 2, similarly here and similarly here, and it is periodic. आगे भी आप इसी तरह करेंगे. This is a periodic function, okay? And remember, if it is like this, तो फिर ये point join कर दो, okay? This is included, otherwise it is not included, okay? This one part I have completed. You should complete remaining B, C and D part, and if you have difficulty, just consult me, okay? So this gives you the how to plot. Remember, in every problem of this Fourier series or Fourier transform, you have to plot the graph first. Graph first. Okay, done with this. I have solved this portion of this. और इसके लिए you can see that there are some solved problem as well. Solved problem जो है, that is on page number 186, 7.1. Graph of the following function. Graph each of the following function. A, B, C, 3 पोर्शन दिए हुए हैं. ये पहले कर लें, फिर उसके बाद ये जो है इस प्रॉब्लम पर आ जाएं उसके बाद. ठीक हो गई. अब मैंने आपको ये सिर्फ पीरियड समझाने के लिए क्या है कि पीरियड इज -c to +c, ये 2 पाई है. अच्छा जी, ये जो है कि this is one set of sine and other is set of cosines. One is set of sine and other is set of cosine. अच्छा जी, now we take the following integral I1 and we integrate it from -c to +.